G'day guys, how's it going? So I listened to this guy called Zach Hing. I'll put some details, down below about him. But more specifically, a talk he did about, why millennials and Zoomers aren't, dating anymore. And I suppose one thing that really sort of came across to me is that he was unintentionally perhaps blaming the porn industry quite a bit about it, with his own issues and addictions and stuff like that, with regarding that. But I had to, put a comment saying, look, no, I don't think that's issue. I mean, porn's not helping, but just as he says, like, people are blaming things like, games, computer games, and all that for violence and blah 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 blah. That's not the issue. And I said, well, at the same time, you could say, well, porn's not the issue. It's just a thing, much like games, and people blaming porn for this. But more, he did hit on the point though quite well that it's a lot to do with how people are brought up, the family situation, the culture. Not just, the culture you've grown up with, like, Western culture, but the culture of the people that you hang around with, your microcultures and your family, how they raised you and everything, and your friends, how they think of, things like dating and hooking up and different little, subcultures, communities. And a lot of people are saying basically that it's a thing. Hookup culture is a thing. There's not many people that are doing the long-term dating commitment thing. There's quite a few people that try and pass off, the hookup culture as poly and stuff like that, or free spirits and all that. But I do wonder if it's because people just don't know what they're looking for, or if it is because they're just settling for what they can get. It's like, it's too much of an effort to do this now, and blah blah blah. And then it had me thinking about Sex in the City, where they said, basically women having sex just like men. And I'm like going, well, having relationships just like men. I'm going, well, no, there's quite a few men I know who don't have relationships where they just hook up and, just treat other people like crap. I mean, that's just having relationships like an ass, basically. Not valuing. I mean, you can have short-term and long-term relationships and all that, and definitely understandings, don't get me wrong, but to actually blame one particular thing as, like you said, it's like blaming computer games for violence. People are inherently violent. Some people just inherently are not made to, or not grown or not raised to think about relationships in a certain way. But also it could be that they don't know what they want in relationships, or their view or expectations of the relationships are completely different. But then there's the whole thing about supply and demand. If there's an excess of supply of people willing to hook up, then there's less of a demand maybe for, long-term relationships. Or maybe it's because that's all they see is people hooking up, and they think, okay, that's normal. And they think that they're weird for, wanting something different. It's what you've grown up and you're exposed to, and what you see. There's quite a few people I've talked to who it absolutely blows their mind to have a long-term BDSM relationship that you live in 24/7, and what you do in that, and they just go, oh my God, how can that be? What happens there? I just don't understand. How is that possible? Because they've not been exposed to it, they've not seen it, or they do see it, but it's like a vague kind of a theory that's out there, or it's just so foreign that they're having problems processing it. Or when they sort of look at their friends and they compare, what other people have with what their friends do, and friends could have unknowingly a bias to say, oh, well, why would you want to do that? Like, plenty of fish in the sea, who cares? Don't make an effort in a relationship. There's plenty of people I know who use the old, back in my days, if there was something wrong with the relationship, we tried to fix it. We just didn't go out and get a new one. There's something to be said a bit for that. There's a certain amount of effort that goes into a relationship, just not on the initial new relationship energy, guys. We're talking about long-term, sustained over years and years, and not falling into apathy. That's important, not falling into apathy. When people just sort of, take it for granted that the relationship is there. it's important to, like, you know, connect and reconnect again. And there's quite a few people I know who every so often, some of them make a you know, relationship pulse date or something like that once a year, where they sit down, no judgment, and they bring up anything that could have, you know, issues, or where they want to actually go in the future with their relationship, touch back, you know, good, bad. Well, nothing's really good or bad, just different, or different changing, different attitudes and different things that they want, if anything's changed, if it's not. And no blame, no judgment, or not being judgmental. You do make judgments, but not being judgmental about, you know, what they have to say, completely on the level, as equals, as individual people. So with the hookup culture, and Zach has very awesome insights into a lot of things. I would have to disagree with his emphasis on, you know, pornography being the problem with easy accessibility. Probably might be, but pornography in general, no, I don't think so. That's more to do with, like, the culture, how you're raised. If you don't know any better, or you haven't been told any better, this is kind of what you think life is, and how relationships are, and how those particular actions happen. So until you get out there and educate yourself, really look in and analyze yourself carefully, that's all you're ever going to see. And sometimes it's a thing of not falling into the habit of doing that again. Going, you know what, I've done this before, eerily enough, I wasn't happy doing it repeatedly, many times over the years, so how about I change it? Just one little thing, such one little thing. It doesn't have to be big. It may turn out to be big in the end, though. So what do you think is the issue these days with what he sees is people not dating anymore, like, or if they are dating, you know, is it really dating, or is it just a hookup? Has hookup culture kind of taken over? Are people trying to justify what they're doing as hookups into being, like, more deep, meaningful relationships? Or are people just generally don't know what they're looking for, you know? I mean, that's okay. If you don't know what you're looking for and you're just having fun, cool. That's awesome. I did that. I went around, didn't know what I was looking for, and then what I didn't know what I was looking for kind of found me. That was very difficult to sort of grasp in your head and just sit down and go, you know what, I'm gonna take that risk. I'm gonna just see what's on the other side of this. I've got a general aim and point of view, but I don't know the details, and I don't have to know the details. Trust, faith, love. Anyways, see ya on this, was it Tuesday, and it rained last night. I can't believe how much it rained last night. That was just crap. I got caught in the rain. Anyways, think about that. You know, are you in a hookup culture? Do you hook up? Do you like hooking up? Are you looking for anything more? If not, why not? Do you want something more? Do you want something less? Where are you at the moment? Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. See ya.